So, something crazy just happened to me an hour ago. I was kicked out of City Hall. The reason? For having a camera. There's no signs posted that say no cameras or anything. What happened was, I, Chris Curry, who's on YouTube as Anonymous Houston, and Jason Wharf, who is the police liaison for Occupy Colorado Springs, we all went to the planning and development area of the city hall in order to file to get the extension to the permit that they needed because today was the day. And that went off without a hitch. Spoilers, because I'm going to have more video about that coming out later, but I just wanted to get this update to you guys right now because I'm in the moment. Right after that, I decided to ask where we would go if there was a formal complaint filed against the permit holders. And in the zoning and planning and development area, they said, well, those kinds of complaints would be lodged with the mayor, and you have to go up and see the mayor. So, since we were in the same building and we were filming, and we filmed the entire process of getting the permit, no problem. That area of City Hall, beautiful. Got much footage of it. Anyways, we get into the elevator. We push 6 for the mayor's floor. We get up there. I filmed the door, and we rang the doorbell. Took a while for someone to answer, and then finally a woman comes out and says, I'll be happy to answer your questions, but I'm not going to be filmed. And Chris and Jason started to explain to her that 3 weeks ago there was a Supreme Court ruling that said that any public area was okay for people to film. It, especially government buildings. So she basically just slammed the door. Didn't want to hear it. It locked behind her. And so we decided, you know what? Let's just meet her halfway. We'll put our cameras in our pockets, shut them off and everything. Put them away, and then ring the doorbell again and see, because she wasn't hearing it. She didn't want to hear that we had the right to do that. But we didn't care. We just wanted an answer to our question, which was, has anyone filed a formal complaint against the permit holders of Occupy Colorado Springs? So we rang the doorbell again, and we waited, and Jason said to us, we're probably about to get thrown out. We saw her walk by through the window, and she was just ignoring our second attempt to see her. And then the elevator opened, and wouldn't you know it, a security guard came out, and she was just doing her job, and we asked her why we were getting kicked out of City Hall, and she said, because I've been told to escort you out. And then they asked more questions, and she just said, well, I've been told to escort you out. So we get down to the bottom floor, the elevator opens up, and the man behind the information desk just says, okay, bye-bye. And he points to the door. And we start trying to ask him questions like, well, why are we being thrown out? He's like, okay, bye-bye. And Anonymous Houston turned his camera back on and started filming even more. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go outside. Jason followed, and we waited for Chris to come out. He'll have footage of what he did. He was basically just talking to the information guy, but we tried calling the mayor's secretary in order to just ask her the question on the phone outside. We couldn't get a hold of anyone. He left a message saying that if we don't get an answer to our simple question of do we have any formal complaints against the permit holders, if there's no answer to that question, then he wants to release the footage of us being kicked out for trying to film in City Hall. So, it's to me, I know on one level that my rights were just violated, but it's like a distraction. I don't really care. I just want the answer to the question. Are there any formal complaints against the permit holders? So later on tonight, if the answer doesn't come back by whatever time Jason says, of course I will release the footage of us getting kicked out. It's not really anything, super. But tomorrow, I plan to, if we don't have our answer by then, I will go to City Hall. I will leave my camera and my phone in my truck. And I'm just going to go up there and ask the question and see if I can get copies of any formal complaints if they exist. And then I will take the copies down to my truck and then I'll film them and show them to you all if they exist. Maybe I'll redact some names or something, but, I just want the answer. Everything else that's come of this, I really don't care. And it's them creating the problem. It's not like this was anything important. This was on a whim. We just tried to ask a question. So, yeah. First time for everything, I got kicked out of City Hall in Colorado Springs for trying to ask a question with a camera.